Hello and welcome to episode 41 of the Spotlight Games podcast. Today we're talking about God of War Ragnarok, Forspoken's delay, Ubisoft being a bunch of big old stinkers, and we're going to talk about our most anticipated games for the rest of this year. I am your host, Patrick, and as always, I am joined by my sweet, stinky dumpster boy, that fucking sack of shit, Cayman Dark.
Yeah, boy. Just
Cayman,
a stinky sack of shit.
Stinky. I can smell you from here, and you're a state away.
I know. It's the Florida. It's emanating directly from my body.
Yeah, that Florida stink. It travels state lines.
It does.
I tell you what. How are you today? How's your week?
Well, I'm in Florida.
Yeah.
For the people watching us from home right now on their Twitch TV things. I'm in Florida. As you can tell, not in the right place.
Let me actually pose it to you this way. How many drinks in are you right now?
Several.
Okay.
Well, I'm in the state of Florida. If you don't expect me to drink in this state, then I'm dead.
Sure.
Essentially.
Well, I gotta watch over those gators. Come up from behind.
I'm not as much worried about the gators as I am everything else in Florida.
Sure. Might come up from behind and snag your booty.
Oh yeah.
With one of their big old mouths. Look, we got a lot of shit to talk about today, so why don't we jump in with some housekeeping?
Let's do it.
This is the Spotlight Games podcast where each and every week we're going to talk about the latest and the greatest in the world of video games. You can get it by going to our YouTube channel, or you can watch it live, twitch.tv/SpotlightGamesPod every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Every episode is going to go live 8 a.m. Tuesdays. So if you want to listen on a podcast service, search for Spotlight Games in your favorite podcast app, and we will show up there. Give us a follow, give us a subscribe, give us a little review or a little preview, if you know what I'm saying. We have a new episode out of Save Trash Cinema. I thought it was a minisode, and then the opening line is, this is not a minisode. So episode 14 of Save Trash Cinema, we're talking they are talking Velocipaster. I took a knee this week. We got Mikey from Boston in there with Bennett, who just loves to spin a tail. So Cayman, how are we feeling about the old Velocipaster?
So it was a very interesting situation, Patrick. So it was going to be a mini-sode when we got started. And then I started doing the doc for the episode. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm sorry. We can't do this film a disservice by not doing a full-blown episode.
Sure.
And it was also an audience submission. So wink, wink. If you have a film you want us to cover, we can do it because we've done it before. And I was like, fuck it. Let's do a full episode. And like you said, you did take a knee this week, which is a bummer because
I took a knee right to the gut.
Right to the gut. You should have, because this was a banger of a movie. And the episode is currently live. So if you are interested in dinosaurs, creatures who turn into dinosaurs, and ninjas, then guess what? We got a movie just for you.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed that at the end of the episode, Mike asks the great question, top 3 dinosaurs. No one says the Ankylosaurus, which is my namesake for the disease I have. It was a little disappointing that no one gave love for the Ankylosaurus. Yeah. For those Anky spawns out there, Ankylosing spondylitis, stand up. We stick together.
I probably shouldn't put my hand up for that.
Yeah, no problem. Well, that's not the hand I should probably put up for that. I should grab my back and rub my hip instead. Let's talk about
dinosaur.
Ooh, there you go.
What it's about is because your hands turn into dinosaur hands.
No, that's a different one. That's a different one. My spine just. Anyway, we can talk about my diseases a different time. Cayman, we have some fun stuff to talk about today. So let's start our show as we always start our shows with what we've been playing. I'm going to start us off right now because I don't have a lot to report. And then I want to toss it to you. And the reason I don't have a lot to report, I'm still playing Slay the Spire and I'm still playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've played a lot more Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm a lot further in the game now. I still kind of don't understand what's happening. I'm shocked at how much I don't understand what's happening in this story. And I feel like I am paying attention. It's not that I don't understand. It's that it's not very interesting to me, but the gameplay is really fun. So I'm having a great time with it. I'm just I feel like maybe there's some big story beats coming that I'm just not at yet. But Cayman, what have you been playing?
So I have an interesting one for you. I've been playing nothing, But I do have something to talk about.
Ooh, talk to me.
So, like I said, I'm in Florida. We're down near West Palm Beach.
Okay.
So from Atlanta
WPB.
to South Florida.
Okay.
It's about a 10, 11 hour drive. So we took a recommendation from my father-in-law, and he told us, he said, you guys, you need to listen to this book series called Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Okay. Is that Carl with a K or a C?
I believe it's with a C.
Unfortunate.
From what I know. And so we got it on Audible, put it on when we started driving. And let me tell you, if you want a book that is exactly like a video game, Dungeon Crawler Carl, it feels like a mixture of like Ready Player One meets Borderlands. The humor is outrageously funny. Like this, I don't think I've laughed this hard reading a book or listening to an audiobook in decades.
Okay.
It is one of the funniest things I've ever listened to. It's so the basic premises is a man named Carl. Him and his girlfriend. Carl. Him and his girlfriend split up, and then the apocalypse happens.
Oh no.
Invaded by an alien species.
That pesky apocalypse. I tell you what.
This fucking apocalypses, man. So during the split up, though, he still has the cat that's his girlfriend's, Princess Donut. And what ends up happening is they end up, if the apocalypse happens, they end up on an intergalactic game show.
Okay.
Where essentially there are, I want to say it's 18 dungeon levels. And it's set up very similar to something like Diablo, right?
Okay.
Whereas they are literally dungeon crawling. It's him and his cat. And
I love a cat.
They have to dungeon crawl, and they get loot boxes. There's a lot of loot boxes. Okay. There's also a lot of foot fetish shit that's absolutely hilarious. The reason being is when the apocalypse happens, Carl is wearing no pants and no shoes. And the AI is really into the fact that he has no shoes. And so a lot of jokes play into the fact that he's just not equipped. So when it all starts off, and no spoilers, when it all starts off, there's basically like a lot of jokes about like he gets loot boxes that are like, it's like, loot box, you went into a dungeon without wearing pants. And then they just talk about how he's unequipped to do anything, and then just tell him to go fuck himself.
I think this is speaking to you because of how much of you played Elden Ring with no pants on.
That is honestly the whole time I was like, this sounds exactly like my Elden Ring experience. But the humor is very Borderlands style, like very meta, on the nose. It like makes fun of video games, but at the same time also sounds exactly like you're just listening to someone explain a video game to you. If you are a video game player, if you like RPGs, if you like dungeon crawlers, like I could not recommend Dungeon Crawler Carl enough. Okay. And though because of my trip to Florida, my video game time has been limited.
Sure.
Doesn't mean that I can't still take in some video game style shit. And in this case was a book.
There you go.
Which is insane to say because let's be honest, Patrick, we don't read books here. Okay.
Yeah, I much like Leah Michelle, I can't read actually.
Are we making a Glee joke? We're making a fucking Glee joke, aren't we?
It's actually not related to Glee, other than Leah Michelle was also in the show Glee on Fox. Cayman.
Yes.
What if I told you that it was time
to
move on to our first story, our opening story, what we're leading with on tonight's program for you at home? God of War Ragnarok got a release date. This is something that we've been pontificating on. We've been wondering, is it coming this year? Is it coming next year? Some people on this show, probably both of us at various points, have been like, definitely not coming this year. But that handsome Cory Barlog came out on Twitter and told us, you know what? It's coming this year. November 9th, just after your birthday, a little before mine.
Yeah. November boys.
November boys. Sagittarius. Got my little bow. That's my little Sagittarius bow. So what I want to do, I'm going to pull up. Let's have the trailer on in the background. Let me actually turn the audio off because I didn't do that last time, or I didn't do it in pre. What do we think about this? Have you seen this trailer? It's 30 seconds long. It's short. It's cinematic.
Yeah. What
do we think?
Yeah.
When you're at your weakest,
and
fear and doubt,
I'm gonna be the downer.
Are a burden too heavy to bear? How's my Kratos?
I'm gonna be the bummer here, Patrick.
Okay. Bum me out.
JK motherfucker, I'm so goddamn excited for this fucking game.
I thought you were going to come up here in your little high horse, your little ivory tower, and be like, this game looks bad. It's not Bulletstorm.
I know. Well, it is definitely not Bulletstorm. But the thing is, not everything has to be Bulletstorm. Okay. Sure. Look, man, I don't know what to say outside of that. I was very wrong. I genuinely did not believe that this game was going to come out this year.
You know what?
100% did not believe it.
Stand up, turn around. Stand up and turn around. Got to give you a spanking.
Okay.
Got to give you a little pop, little spanking. Ooh, a little twerk for the. If you're not watching the video, folks, you're missing out. I watch us get banned from Twitch now. It looks great. I think I've also been on record to say this game is not coming this year, but I'm a little. Disappointed is not the word. I'm surprised that the announcement only came with a 30-second completely CGI trailer. But I'm willing to bet that within the next couple of weeks, we're going to get more of like a deeper dive. I'm pulling from the PlayStation blog here. Just a couple like little press release type stuff to share. Coming to PS4, PS5, November 9th. They shared the trailer, blah, blah, blah. They have 2 collector's editions that they've announced. So, and these are going live for pre-order on July 15th. So if that's something you're interested in, there's 2. There's a collector's edition with, it comes with Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. And then there's a Jotnar edition, which comes with that and like other stuff too. This is the first like of that kind of collector's edition in my life where I'm like, do I want this? I don't think I'm going to do it.
Yes.
But like, I kind of want it. Because it all looks pretty cool. It comes with like some dice, like wooden carved dice, some little tchotchkes. But what I want to ask you, Cayman. So actually, I'm gonna go over to the trailer real quick. I want to go to that shot that we just saw. What do we think this game is bringing us? Because it ends. There we go. On this big old wolf. Look at that.
So I'm gonna fuck probably the whole Norse mythology up here, but I would say that so in Norse mythology, that is
Finra, right?
Yeah. If I'm and correct me if I'm wrong, but essentially Loki, which spoilers. Obviously huge spoilers.
Yeah. Actually, so if you haven't played the first one,
I probably shouldn't say anything.
You know what? Yeah, let's give a spoiler warning. Let's say if you haven't played the first one, skip the next like 3 minutes.
Yes. So it's the World Eater. Essentially, the wolf brings upon Ragnarok,
right?
And essentially kills the gods and ends quote unquote the world. That's probably the end of spoilers. So I do think that it's shocking though that they like if they're introducing it now that it's going to be like it's going to be a scenario in which like is this only going to be 2 parts? Like what's going to happen after this?
They have.
Oh really? Oh shit! Then fuck.
Yeah.
Then I would assume this is going to be a huge game.
Yeah, I do too. Do we think Kratos makes it out of this game, Cayman?
That's a good question. It's a really good question, actually. Man, I hope not. Oh no, I hope he does. I love Kratos. Yeah. I mean, going back to like the Greek mythology Kratos, like I absolutely fucking adore Kratos. And I understand that he's an angry asshole. And that's pretty much his shtick for the first 3 mainline games, then obviously the 2 spin-offs, and then the prequel game, is that he's just an angry dude. However, he is, I really feel like they salvaged his character in the reboot. like he's a character like I just hope continues to exist. Like I love Kratos.
Yeah.
Like I love him. Like that fatherly figure that he takes in the reboot game is like, I don't know. It's like I think the only other daddy that like I can fall back on is Joel, right?
Sure,
well,
sure.
You too. But like, it's just he's just one of those like incredibly complex characters that's like, if it ends here with his story arc, then there's a good chance that it'll be a well worth spent adventure with Kratos, and then we move on and we leave him behind and he's gone. I just don't know, me personally, I'm ready to leave Kratos behind.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if he is ready to be left behind.
Yeah.
Like there's so many other mythologies that like we can go to like Egypt and shit like that. We can do a fuck ton of stuff with Kratos still.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of implication for potential future stories in the 2018 game with all the stuff with Tyr and all the different worlds of gods and things. There's definitely, they kind of lay the groundwork for there to be more than Norse mythology. I'm just curious, like, I wonder if that's just more like a fun thing to consider and come back to later, or if that's their plan. And if it is their plan, is it their plan with Atreus?
So here's my thing, is that I think for Sony Santa Monica especially, I mean, this is what they're known for, is God of War. And they've been doing this for a long time. I wouldn't be opposed for them setting up an ending that's not a cliffhanger, but kind of open-ended. And them take some time off to be like, we're making a new game and we're making something very interesting that you guys want, like kind of like Sucker Punch did with Ghost of Tsushima.
Sure.
Like leaving the infamous story behind and then being like, hey, we're taking a break from God of War. We're focused on a brand new project that's very cool, very interesting. I would love to see what they do. However, I do hope that like Atreus is gone and we continue with Kratos taking on a new role. However, with that being said, I don't know, like the way they've kind of set up the 2018 God of War, like I'm just not sure if there is a world in which Kratos can still exist within inside of this game series. And if they opt to do something else, like I trust them enough because God of War is a very good series, like an incredible series. And I do want to see them go in a different direction, try something new for a change that's not God of War. I think there's enough talent there to build a brand new series of games or do something else. But also, you know, this is saying we haven't played this game yet, but like I don't know. I'm still kind of hung up. Like, I don't want Daddy Kratos to be done just yet.
Sure. I agree. So to reel it back for a second, what I had mentioned during your thoughts there, I'm trying to remember, I'm taking a long time to finish this, and it's because I'm trying to remember when it happened. But they came out and said, I actually, you know what? I think it was when we saw the first trailer for this game.
Okay.
Like the next day, the game director, who is not Cory Barlog, he's executive producing, did an interview with like IGN or something. And they were like, this is not a trilogy. This is a 2-part game, because the first game took like 5 years. This one took 4 to 5 years. They're like, so the next one would take another 4 to 5 years. And we're not in a place where we want to be telling this story for 15 years, essentially. So they were like, we wanted to, as a studio, tell the story in 2 games, not because there's not more story to tell per se, is how I interpreted it, but that like, we don't want to have to draw it out so much, essentially.
Sure.
Which I respect that. I want to have a conclusion for this story sooner rather than later, and then tell me a new story. Like whether that's a new story with Kratos, with Atreus, with something in a completely different world, that's up to you because you're the one making the game. But I'm excited that this is the end of this, because also there's just so often they just go on for too long, and then it's like, wasn't as good by the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, that's kind of kind of where I am right now with like Marvel, for instance. Like,
sure,
I could easily have taken it after the end of Endgame. Like, I could have taken a couple years off, a few years off, probably even, and give me some time to be excited about what's coming next. And instead, they just overload you with shit, which is where I am right now. I just started up Kamala Khan or the Miss Marvel series.
Yeah.
And I made it one episode in and was like, man, this is like a really cool, interesting story. But like, I don't know if I'm personally ready to get back into this. Like, I need time to just have a break. And I get it with games is a lot different. Like, it's not like we've had a God of War game every 6 months.
Sure.
But I also feel like video games are very different in the same aspect where it's like studios are working on the same game for years. And then you end up in the mind, like where you try to inhabit the mind space of a developer. And you're like, man, I could only imagine when you get done with a trilogy or even 2 games like where we are right now, where it's like, man, I really need some time to recalibrate we've been working on this forever, and then we're going to just immediately jump to the next project doing the exact same thing, or it's not even the exact same thing, but like continuing a story that you've been working on for so long. Like, I get it. Like, take some time.
Yeah.
Figure it out. I'm beyond excited for this game. And I'm also like, God damn it, why the fuck could you not release 5 days earlier on my birthday?
Sure.
Give me a present, Corey Barlog.
Come on. Well, I'll tell you who's taking a little bit of time, Cayman. Is Forspoken. Sheesh. We got news last week that Forspoken, a game that I'm very excited about, coming from Square Enix, has been delayed to 2023. But there's a really interesting piece here, Cayman, that I want to talk about.
Okay.
So I'm going to read to you the message that Forspoken shared on Twitter. Now, some context for this. Last week on Wednesday is when God of War was announced. I texted you, it was like, of course they announced it the day after we recorded last week's episode. So on Thursday of last week, if I'm not mistaken, if not Thursday, it was later in the day on Wednesday. It was either the same day or the day after. Forspoken comes out and they say this. As a result of ongoing discussions with key partners, we have made the strategic decision to move the launch date of Forspoken to January 24, 2023. All game elements are now complete and development is in its final polishing phase. We would like to thank you for your continued support and patience on this journey. Your excitement for the game inspires us every day, and we cannot wait to share more about Forspoken with you later this summer. Cayman, the phrase, as a result of ongoing discussions with key partners, we have made the strategic decision to move the launch date of Forspoken to 2023. The game is done. It's just being polished. Is really, really weird wording for a delay.
100% this is being delayed because we're getting 2 huge Sony releases.
Right? That has to be, right? Because in September, we're getting Last of Us Part 1, and then now in November, we're getting God of War Ragnarok, and this was slated for October of this year. Mm-hmm. To which I'm like, well, why can't we get one per month? But yeah, I don't know. This feels really, really shisty that they're like, shisty's not the right word.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. A strong word.
Shisty's not the right word. Yeah, strike from the record. But I don't know. This is weird. Like I wonder if this is a Sony decision. I wonder if this is a Square decision. I wonder if this is Gary Whitta's decision since he wrote this game.
It's probably Gary Whitta.
Yeah, it's probably Gary. But yeah, I don't know. It's a little disappointing because this is a game I'm looking forward to. And but as we're going to talk about later in our show, there is a lot coming out this year. It's been filling up quickly over the last several weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Just as I read that, I was like, I've never seen a delay worded this way before.
Yeah. This definitely feels like we've got The Last of Us Part 1 in September. We have God of War Ragnarok in November. No. I don't want to be as forceful when I say the words this was done because they don't want to impact God of War Ragnarok's release. But I also understand the fact that, like, hey, this game is big, right? They very much relayed the fact that this game is large. It's an open world game. It's going to take some time to get through. This isn't like you're dropping, Final Fantasy VII Remake, which also is a huge game, but also it's a remake, right?
Right.
So I don't think this is as much falling on the heels of The Last of Us Part 1. Whereas I think this is probably a situation in which it's like, hey, we have a very heavy fall. Take your time. Don't crunch. I'm hoping that that's the mindset.
Well,
right?
I mean, they say it must be the mindset because they say that the game is done. They're just polishing. So it's like if they say that the game, all game elements are now complete. So it's not like we need more time to make sure we're giving you the best product. They're like, hey, this thing's done. We just think that it's a bad time. But like the other thing that's interesting to me is that, like, sure, God of War Ragnarok, most anticipated game by a mile on average for this industry. Last of Us Part 1, there are a lot of people who don't care that Last of Us Part 1 is coming out on the internet.
You're right.
I am not one of those people. I'm very excited for it, but I don't know that The Last of Us Part 1 is going to be a powerhouse this fall. I could be wrong. It could be because it's The Last of Us, but I guess it's more about God of War and less about The Last of Us in my mind. But I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that
no, I don't. I mean, I get look, I don't think you're wrong though. Like, you're right. There are a lot of people, and a lot of the hang up on The Last of Us Part 1, more so outside of excitement that we're getting a remake of it, is more so the price point.
Right.
So I don't think it's necessarily the aspect of like, hey, no one's really excited about this game, because I don't think that that's true. I think there's like enough of the industry is the tempered expectations part is that it very much is a remake of a game that still looks good. Now, does it play as good? No. And I understand that coming from someone like yourself who replays The Last of Us Part 1 every year. It doesn't play bad. Shit, it still plays better than most games.
That's true.
But when you roll off the heels of playing Part 2 and then play Part 1, like, yes, you can very much tell that this is not the same game.
Right.
Like, there's so many quality of life adjustments. And also, from what I've been hearing and from what I've been reading from like developers and obviously this could be just quote unquote developer speak. So I don't want to give like too much credence to like what they're saying, is that this game is built from the ground up.
Oh yeah.
And,
I don't think you're misspeaking when you say that.
And so, I mean, it very well could play into it, but I do think that like a game like Forspoken, which is the first game to come out in this IP, you want to get it right the first time. That's a great point. Yeah, and I think the big point is we need to think about it as like, currently the way the games are developed, they're not developed to be like, hey, here's one game. It's, hey, we're trying to build a franchise, because that's where the money lies, is within franchises. And if you release a game, the first game of a planned franchise, and it's shit, the likelihood you're going to pick more people up for game 2, it's very slim.
Well, not even that it's shit, but that it doesn't sell well.
That is also true.
Yeah.
So I understand. I do 100% think that this is business related, that the reason that they're doing it. But am I upset by that? Absolutely not. I'm totally content with me being able to play The Last of Us Part 1 through September. I get a little bit a month to play some indie games, do some shit, and then jump immediately into God of War Ragnarok for presumably up until December, which is Callisto Protocol. So another PlayStation IP that they're dropping. So it's like, I get why you're doing this. Let the big game drop in January. It's a little bit slower. We still don't have a date for Starfield. And that also very well could be the other thing too, is that they want to release Ragnarok during the holiday season to help push whatever PS5s are even available at the point, and be like, hey, let's release, let's get some shit out, and hopefully we'll be able to drop a huge game to push holiday sales, which Sony recently, like the last couple of years, really hasn't pushed much in the holiday season. So I'm like, okay, I'm totally down with this. And then in January, let's get Forspoken.
Let's get Forspoken, baby.
Honestly, I think that this is a very smart move on Square Enix and Sony's part to push it.
Sure.
And hopefully one of the big things is that they're alleviating crunch, which is my big thing.
Ooh, got a little Bennett in the chat. Listening to SEC, watching Spotlight, I may have just created a wormhole in time space itself. Look at that. We call that a true fan. Hey, Bennett. Well, so I agree. Forspoken being moved for a business decision. How about a business decision that just makes me all sorts of uncomfy? Cayman. I'm pulling from Rhiannon Bavin. If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I apologize, Rhiannon. At The Gamer, Ubisoft apparently Cayman is decommissioning 15 games this September, making parts of them unplayable. What a shit show. Rhiannon writes, Ubisoft is shutting down the servers for many of its games in September, including Assassin's Creed 3 Brotherhood and Liberation, as well as cutting off any multiplayer components. This will also make it impossible to access their DLC, even if you have purchased and downloaded them before this date. I repeat, this will make it impossible to access their DLC, even if you have purchased and downloaded them before this date. Horseshit. This comes as, Ubisoft pulls support from 15 of its older titles, freeing up resources to better support its latest releases. Far Cry 3, Silent Hunter 5, Splinter Cell Blacklist, and many more will also be affected by the move, with their own DLC unavailable to play from September 1, 2022. Quote, closing the online services for some older games allow us to focus our resources on delivering great experiences for players who are playing newer or more popular titles, end quote, the blog post announcing the decision reads. They continue to help us achieve this. A number of older titles will be added to our list of decommissioned online services on September 1, 2022. The wording in that section that discusses the effects on the game's DLC suggests that not only will players be unable to download them, but they won't be able to play them as well. The installation and access to downloadable content DLC will be unavailable, it reads. This is likely because you won't be able to link your Ubisoft account to the games, potentially making it impossible to prove that you own the DLC. It's worth noting that in cases of Far Cry 3 and Assassin's Creed 3, their remastered editions will still be available. This is just the original releases on things like PS3. This is the games list. There's 15 of them. Anno 2070, Assassin's Creed 2, 3, Brotherhood, Liberation HD, Revelations, Driver San Francisco, Far Cry 3, Ghost Recon Future Soldier, Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands, I never forgot, Rayman Legends, Silent Hunter 5, Space Junkies, Splinter Cell Blacklist, and Zombie U. So you might sit there and think, Patrick, these are PS3 games. What's the big deal? The big deal, Cayman, is that people like myself spent money on these things like DLC, and Ubisoft's going to be like, sorry, can't do it anymore. That's $15, $20, $30 that you gave us that you can never access again. So it made me think of a question that I want to pose to you, Cayman. Mm-hmm. What do you think this means for the future of Ubisoft games? Do you think this is going to be a trend, or do you think that there will be enough backlash and outcry from this? Because a lot of people online are upset, but I say a lot on my Twitter. There's a lot, but I follow a lot of games people. Maybe no one gives a shit about this. I just am in a vacuum. But do you think that other companies follow suit and do this kind of thing? Or do you think Ubisoft is making a big enough mistake that our digital online purchases won't be going away kind of across the board eventually? What do you think?
Let me actually jump back in time, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, do I need to adjust anything?
We need to turn some knobs, some handles. Yep. Beautiful. This is not the first time that media specifically, not video games per se, but media has been inaccessible. There was a point back several years ago in which the Apple Music Store actually deleted full albums off of the music store.
Don't like that.
Albums that you would purchase, unless you would move those songs over to a physical disc, they were gone. You could not get access to those. This is the way the future will be as long as we continue to do what we're doing, and that is move towards a full physical future, or for a full digital future. And I think it's really important for people to understand that this isn't just a scenario in which we've been stuck with the way that games are going or music. Like, this has probably been the biggest thing that we've seen this with are things like movies.
Yeah.
Movies die off. And the reason that like movie collectors like myself, and I do collect a lot of movies. If you know anything about STC, you know I collect a lot of movies. But the thing is like a lot of shit just eventually will disappear.
Yeah.
It'll just be gone. You won't have access on Amazon. There won't be Netflix. And then that's the big thing, right? Is like Netflix originals. Things like when Marvel took over and bought out a lot of properties from Fox, right? Daredevil and things were removed from Netflix.
That's true. They were inaccessible legally for years. The thing that's so disappointing, though, is that like I look at my shelf, not these shelves, my shelf off camera, where I have a few physical copies of games. Way back when I first knew you, I was just like you. I had bookshelves full of movies, and I moved away from a physical media life because it's a lot to carry around. It's, not particularly great for the environment. A bunch of these plastic boxes that I don't need. So I make this decision to move digitally. And then now I'm like, well, shit, am I making a mistake by moving digitally? Because there's no guarantee that I'm going to have all the stuff that I pay for throughout its lifetime. Granted, all the water is going to dry up on the earth and internet's going to go out, and it won't matter what games I bought on PS5. But I'm living in the right now. I'm not living in the 10 years from now, because it's happening in 10 years. We're all going to die.
You're not wrong. It even goes as far as like, there's like, you've got your voodoo, and you have your random shit that's like, oh, hey, I bought X DVD and it has a digital code. So I'm going to put the digital code into the server, and the server will always have access until that server doesn't exist.
Right.
So then the question is, like, what happens then? And we're looking at it now. This is the reality, is that things will disappear.
Yeah.
The question is it's like, okay, well, what do you do? And in a lot of situations, when it comes especially to things like DLC for games, like, the unfortunate reality is, unless you buy like a Game of the Year edition, which a lot of that still is coming in as code codes, format, like, you're just kind of fucked.
Yeah.
And I think the reality is you just have to accept that this is how this is going to be for this particular genre for a very, like, this is going to be more common in the future.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
I think so, which is a shame, but we'll tackle it as it happens, folks. In the future. Speaking of the future, what a segue. My brain, much like my internet recently, just skipped a beat. I want to spend the rest of our show, Cayman, talking about the rest of this year, calendar year 2022. I'm not talking fiscal, Cayman. I'm talking calendar year 2022. I want to look ahead. I'm going to go. I've put together a list. Might be in front of you. I don't know your life. I put together a list. This isn't every game coming out for the rest of the year, but it's a dadgum lot of them. So what I want to do is go game by game. And we're going to say, much like save it or can it for STC, I'm going to say play it or skip it. And if we feel like we want to talk about it, let's talk about it. So starting with July, Cayman, this month that we're in currently, right now, July 12th, as of recording. On July 19th, not 7 days, actually, yes, 7 days. Not 8 days from today, but 7 days from today. As Dusk Falls an Xbox exclusive, Xbox console exclusive, also going to PC on July 19th. This is a game for the three of you that watched our live stream of the Xbox showcase that never made it to YouTube. We live reacted to this particular game. So I think I'm assuming that the answer is no for us both. Skip it. But is this a play or a skip?
I don't remember this game, so
this is the one. This is the one that looked kind of like a Scanner Darkly. But
fuck that game. Yeah. Fuck that shit. Get it out of here.
All right, kill it. Next we got Stray. Play or skip?
Okay, you play as a cat.
Yeah,
play it.
Yeah, right. This comes out a week from today as well. I'm very excited for this. Probably not next week, but the week after. I think we'll be doing a full review of that game. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Meow. After that, we have Live Alive, Live Alive, Live a Live on Switch, July 22nd.
Play
it. I need to do the demo.
Fuck it.
But it looks cool.
Look, if you like old JRPGs, then you should just fucking play this game.
Yeah. Nick Swalski, I think I mentioned this last week. Nick Swalski was enjoying the demo. So
I played like one of the full stories on an emulator back in the day. And if you enjoy old JRPGs, then there's absolutely no fucking reason not to play this game. So
right. That's coming July 22nd. A week later, on July 28th, we have Bear and Breakfast coming to Switch and PC. This is a mega play for me.
Yes.
Premise of this game, I don't know that we've really talked about it on this show. Premise of this game, it's a bed and breakfast, but you're bears.
Yes.
Like what? Play. Come on. What else? What else can you say?
Yeah, fucking play it.
A day later, July 29th on Switch, we got Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yes.
1000%
yes. Fucking play this game.
This is a maybe for me. I want to see a little bit more. I will say the direct they had a couple weeks ago that was all about Xenoblade Chronicles was the first time I've seen anything Xenoblade Chronicles related, and was like, maybe.
Just trust me. Okay, so don't just trust me. If you enjoy the Final Fantasy, like the really heavy fantasy of like the JRPG, then 100% Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is going to get your goose.
The question is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 about brunch? Question from the chat from Bennett.
No. Bennett, you can go fuck yourself.
Bear and Breakfast, I'm sure, has brunch elements to it.
Oh, yes.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3, however, not about brunch. So that brings us to the end of July. So, I mean, there's some good stuff coming this month.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that any of them are going to be clear home runs, to use a sports reference. Home run.
Do you know sports references, Patrick?
Oh, God. I tell you what, you might call me.
Hold on. Did the Avalanche win the NHL championship?
They sure did. And the only reason I didn't talk about it on the show is because the day after they won, we recorded live with JK Games. And I didn't want to come in there hard and fast with an Avs jersey, just screaming about it.
You should,
because that was the first time that we ever did content together. Do I regret it? Yeah, I sure do. Go Avs, go! They're unstoppable.
I regret that you didn't either.
It's the beginning of a dynasty, y'all. Unbelievable. Check it out. But so that brings us to the end of July. August.
Yes.
2 Point Campus. This is like a Sim City style, but for colleges. That's a big fuck no for me.
I fucking hate everything you just said. Get it out of here.
After that, we got Cult of the Lamb, August 11th.
I know absolutely nothing about this game, but what I will say is that Jerica over at JK Games, which you just mentioned, was super huge on it and was like, this game is fucking awesome. I've been playing the demo. I love it. Jerica, if you're out there, I feel you, girl. I am 100% behind you, and I will be getting this game day one because I support every decision you make.
Here's the thing. It has 4. It hits 4. It checks off 4 boxes for me.
Tell me those boxes.
It has cults. Love a cult.
Fuck yeah.
Lambs.
Oh, yeah.
Big fan of lambs.
Oh.
Prepositions of Cult of the Lamb. Articles. Oh. Actually, there's a 5th thing, and it has Jericho support. So,
yeah,
I mean, it's the 5 pillars have been checked for me.
I
Cults,
feel like
lambs, prepositions, articles, Jericho. So
if I were to grunt any harder, I'd cum my pants.
I think if you were to grunt any harder, this might be a video on Pornhub. I'm disgusted because I just thought of it. Stop. After that, August 16th. Am I gonna scrap the whole show because of this? Yes.
I fucking hope so.
August 16th, Roller Drome on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and PC.
Patrick,
yeah.
You tell me. Does this game look incredible?
This looks so fun.
It does.
I'm in. I do want to see a little bit more. I want to see a little bit more. This isn't even though I was really gung-ho about my yes, I do want to see a little bit more.
Sure.
Vis-a-vis, this might not be a day one for me.
Sure.
But I do plan. I do think that I will play it. After that, August 18th came in RPG time, The Legend of Right. I'm not talking left, right. I'm talking build a ship, right. I'm talking write a play, right. WRIGHT.
Looked so goddamn cool.
Coming to Switch. Looks awesome.
Looks fucking incredible.
Yeah, it looks great. Big ol' wait and see for me, but it looks cool. After this is probably like a definite hard skip for me. Is Saints Row on August 23rd.
This game's getting delayed, baby.
You think so?
1000%. I do not fucking see.
I mean, we're 6 weeks out.
We're 6 weeks out. Yes, I do not see.
We haven't
this
seen
game
it in a while.
Yeah, no. I mean, we got it like a 5 to 10 minute like, hey, here's how you can customize your character in Port City.
Yeah,
it's not happening, buddy. It's not fucking happening.
You almost just went to like what was the guy's name that would go Pyaw? The politician that ran for president?
Yeah, Howard Dean.
Howard Dean. You almost went to like a Howard Dean there.
You know what, Patrick? I feel like you need to give your throat a little rest. So let me take over.
Oh boy, here we go.
And let's do September.
Don't tell me when my throat needs a rest, young man.
I don't. I always know when your throat needs a rest.
September. Take me to September.
This comes in September 1st, Patrick. Lord of the Rings Golem. This comes PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
Can you believe this game wasn't canceled 6 times already?
I still don't even know what the fuck this game is.
I watched some gameplay the other day. It looks respectfully. I like with so much respect to anyone who makes this game. It looks like absolute horseshit. It looks like a Plague Tale, but you play as Gollum on a PS2.
I hate it.
Like that's kind of how that game looks.
Or I love it. I don't.
True. It actually does scream Cayman for me.
I don't know what to think anymore because you just said it looks terrible, and half of my brain says yes, and half of my brain says no. But I'm leaning towards the yes now for some reason. All right, on September 2nd, guess what, baby? PlayStation 5, The Last of Us Part 1 remade.
I think this is an easy skip for me.
Oh, that's fair.
Never liked The Last of Us. I don't get why they're bringing it back. Honestly, no, I'm stoked for this.
Yeah, this it's kind of crazy when I first saw the announcement trailer and they showed it off, and I was like, this game looks the exact same as the original Last of Us, which I think is a testament, right, to how incredible The Last of Us looked when it came out. And I saw a side by side and was like, holy fuck, this game is drastically different. Looks so much better.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, Patrick.
You know the crazy thing about what's happening right now, Cayman?
Tell me.
Well, actually, what's in your cup there?
Oh boy, you don't even want to know.
So I was about to say you are getting progressively more drunk, but I didn't think you were drinking still. But as I was about to say it, I was like, you're still drinking. What you got in there?
So I've got a whiskey.
Okay.
And it's a lot. And it's on the rocks.
Yeah.
With a squeeze of lemon.
Ooh. Little whiskey and lemon. A little citrus with your
yes,
juice.
Patrick, I'm getting progressively drunk through this episode.
That's what I thought.
You can lick my balls.
Oh boy.
All right, on September 9th on the Switch and Switch only, Splatoon 3.
I'm torn on Splatoon 3 because here's the thing. I've only ever played a multiplayer demo of Splatoon because famously this was only ever a multiplayer game on 1 and 2. This one, however, will have a single player campaign. So I'm like, do I maybe want to try it because it'll have a mode that I might care about? Or is this just not a series for me? I'm kind of leaning more toward it's just not a series for me. But this is a like underlined, italicized, wait and see from old Patty.
I feel that. Yeah, Splatoon is not. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's just not the type of fun I particularly look for in what I play day to day.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. Next up on September 13th for Xbox Series XS and PC, Warhammer 40K Dark Tide. Big thumbs down for me as well. And if you can't see him, he's doing the same. So we're moving on to Metal Hellsinger, which is coming on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and PC on September 15th. Patrick, I'm going to steal the air for a second.
Steal it.
This game looks fucking stupidly fun. I cannot wait to play this shit.
I have something to tell you.
Tell me.
I played this game. I completely forgot that I played this game like a week and a half ago. There's a demo on Xbox.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It's like the first level. It's fun. I think this will be a Cayman-ass game.
Oh, okay. Then that's all I need to hear.
Yeah. The demo was enough for me. Like, it was fun, and like the music, like when it sings, it sings. But it's just not really a Patrick game.
I mean, it literally sings.
Yeah,
literally, it sings.
That's true. So Metal Hellslinger is this is a game where it's a first person shooter, and it's take a first person shooter and Guitar Hero and combine them. So you get extra points by killing on the beat of the music, and as you kill on the beat of the music and like pull the trigger and like swing your sword or whatever on the beat to this like heavy metal, you get like multipliers and your score starts going up. And there's a really cool thing where as your multiplier starts going up, they start injecting more instruments in. So it starts to become like more of a concerto. And like once you get to like the max multiplier, the vocals start coming in. So like it is really cool. I just don't think it's a game that I would stick around with.
Dude, I'm sorry. Like, I've watched gameplays of like the PC demo. I didn't know there was an Xbox one, but like the PC demo, and like when they're going through and they're like it's shooting guns on rhythm, right?
Yeah.
So it's like boom, 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 and then all of a sudden here comes the drums, and then boom, 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 guitars. And then all of a sudden then you get the fucking black metal vocals, and it's just like, oh my god, just shoot it directly into my veins. That's exactly what I want.
And it plays exactly like that. Like the marketing for it is spot on. I do think you'll like it.
1000%. I don't even give a fuck about the story. I just want wild ass gunplay that I get that kind of shit. Like Guitar Hero meets fucking Bulletstorm. Sign me up, baby.
Oh yeah. Sign me up.
Board.
Sign me up. We got McLean with it 2014 in the chat. Do we know McLean? I don't personally.
Yeah, yeet. McLean. Lizzie, Liz.
What's up,
Hold
Liz?
on. I'm gonna do this next one in Liz's voice. I hope you're ready.
Oh no.
And then next up on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on September 20th.
Hey, man.
Evil West. Have you heard her speak?
I haven't had the pleasure to speak.
Then she's in the chat right now being like, yes, this is exactly how I talk.
Evil
West. I watched a demo on this the other day. It actually released like a full gameplay demo of this. This is the most PlayStation Ass 3 shit I've seen in forever, and I'm 1000% on board.
Okay.
We need more PlayStation 3 style games. I'm sorry, but like that weird ass time frame for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, where you had like the Gears of War style, like close up over the shoulder, but still third person, and you just blow shit up, and there's a lot of curse words. Hell yeah.
Okay.
100% on board. Like, I just kind of hope this game comes out at like a $39.99 price point, because I will not spend $70 on it. But if this is a budget title, 100% I will play this shit all the time.
Okay. I remember this being announced, but I can't remember much about it. So I need to go look this one up. Let's switch into October. Let's get spooky with some
Get
October
spooky
games.
with me, baby.
Overwatch
I feel like your throat's been...
My throat's been what, Cayman?
Yeah, our throat's been neutered.
Neutered? Okay, that's enough. I'm taking the reins back. October, Overwatch 2, PlayStation 5, Xbox, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC, PlayStation, Xbox. Not for me. October 4th, free to play, online multiplayer.
Really?
First person shooter. Yeah, it's free to play now. They've made it free to play.
All right.
Yeah. But apparently they were saying like even though it's going to be free to play, it's still going to feel like Overwatch, but I don't know what that means.
I don't give a shit if it feels like I'm,
Yeah. October 6th, we have Nier Automata coming to Switch, which we talked about on last week's show.
Super fucking cool.
That's cool. Like a slasher with a weird ass story that everyone should play if you have a Switch. After that, on the 7th, coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch and PC, Marvel's Midnight Suns, which this is another wait and see for me. Like on paper, I like the idea, but I want to see what people think. I want to see how like the reviews are, that kind of thing. Yeah. Because I could see this coming out and getting like 5s.
Yeah. So this comes out. This comes out the day before I get married. Oh. So neither one of us will be playing it day one. Well, because you're in my wedding and presumably you'll be.
It's coming out on Switch.
In places where you can't. Oh fuck.
I
wouldn't play this on Switch.
I'm playing it while you're saying your vows to Sid up there.
Well, hopefully it's not on cloud because there ain't no service. Well, however, yes. I kind of feel the same way that you do. The game looks really cool and it looks like something that like I would 100% sink my teeth into. However, I definitely think this is one that like I could see getting delayed at any moment.
Sure.
But also like if it doesn't, then I definitely want to wait on it.
Yeah. For the uninitiated, Marvel's Midnight Suns, it's like a strategy game with Marvel characters. So it's like turn-based strategy kind of thing. If you know XCOM, if you know Mario plus Rabbids on the Switch, that kind of style, but with Marvel characters. After that, we're getting a Plague Tale Requiem coming to PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC on October 18th. This is one you're excited for, right?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I need to finish the first one. I never finished the first one. This is a game that takes place like during the plague in England, ye old Britain came in. Yeah. I don't know. Is it set in like that actual time or is it like a fictitious telling of that? Do you remember?
It's like a fictitious telling during the Dark Plague. Okay. However, I will say the first game is stealth only.
That's right. And this
you
one's
can
got a little
stun enemies, but like there's really, I mean, the combat, there's really no combat.
Yeah.
This one actually has combat. That really excites me because I suck at stealth games. But the story of Plague Tale is really cool. And I think this game has the potential not to be like a game of the year by any chance, but could be a sleeper hit for a lot of people. I definitely think that if you've never played the first game, like give the first game a shot. There's combat in this one. I think this game will have legs. It'll go a lot farther than I think anyone realizes.
Much like you, this game will have legs. On October 20th, coming to Switch, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. What do you think about that?
I don't think I need to say anything else outside of give it to me, baby.
Give it to me. Did you hear the little sound effect I just played?
I did. I thought that was your cat like in the window just dying.
It was the hey, let me see if it'll pick up if I get closer to it.
Just slightly.
Yeah, no, I'll just cut that. It's a little Wario.
Leave it in.
October 21, we got Persona 5 Royal coming to PlayStation 5. Well, it was already on PlayStation 5, Xbox, Switch, and PC. That's one we've talked about last couple weeks, so really excited about that. That is a play for me. Maybe play at some point for you because you've already played it twice. Scorn coming to Xbox and PC on October 21. I still kind of don't even know what this game is, so it's a pass for me at the moment.
Yeah,
I just know it's gory.
I think there's a world in which this game is really good. There's a world in which this game lasts 6 hours and it gets dropped within the next couple days after its release, and no one ever talks about it again.
Yeah.
I hope that it gets critical praise. I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel comfortable saying that it will.
Like I really hope all of these games get nothing but critical praise. Cayman.
Sure.
We want everyone to succeed. We want everyone to be high on life coming October 25th to Xbox, and PC. Is this a game you're excited for? You're excited for this, right? High on life? No, isn't this the
We completely skipped Gotham Knights.
No, it was the same day. It was a nice segue, you piece of shit.
Well, that's fair.
Fucking let me drive. You're no drinking and driving here, young man.
Well, I'm drinking, so you drive.
I'm trying.
Apparently, I went through all of September, and you just were sad with me. So
I wasn't sad with you. No, hey, stand up, turn around.
Okay. I hope all the sound effects are caught in.
Little spanking. There it is.
Yeah.
No, this is the Rick and Morty game. That game.
Oh shit. Okay, then yeah, High on Life looks fucking dope. Everybody should play it.
You didn't trust me.
I did not. You're right.
You gotta trust me. Bennett gets it. Spanks enthusiastically. You need a spanking. Also coming that day, Gotham Knights, PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC. This is another big wait and see for me.
Not as high on this game as I am as high on life.
3 months ago, I would have been like, oh yeah, another a game in the Arkham universe. Sign me up. But what they've shown me, I don't know.
You know what? I think that this could be a game that definitely turns out.
I think this can be a game.
I think this could be a game that is exactly like Marvel's Avengers for DC, where it just fucking shits the bed on launch.
Could be.
Outside of just story mode. Because the thing is, Marvel's Avengers story mode is actually really fun and good. It's a good Marvel story.
That's true.
Everything else sucked. And I'm worried that Gotham Knights is going to do the exact same thing. It doesn't look very fun to me.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Same.
So let's just hope for the best.
Yeah. The thing with that game, and we'll talk more about it as we get closer to October 25th, but of the characters that they've shown, none of them I want to play as. I don't see the gameplay of any of these characters because you can play as 4. You can play as Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood. And I see them and I'm like, I just don't. None of this looks particularly good to me. No disrespect. I want to be Batman. And I know he's dead in this game. But
dead.
Sure. Ooh, you think old Kevin Conroy is putting the cowl back on?
Oh, if he doesn't, I'll burn fucking whatever studio that made this game.
Oh, no, that's a threat. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, October 28th, coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
Patrick.
Next.
Do you think there's going to be the No More Russians level in this game?
That's a really fascinating question.
We can spend an entire episode on this question.
There was this game came out 2007-ish, 8-ish, 9-ish.
Yeah.
And there was a level in this game where you played as the bad guys and you went through an airport and just murdered all the civilians. And that was the entirety of the level. Don't think that level makes it in this one. Don't think they do that. I don't think so. I think it is, not that there weren't also those kinds of acts of violence in 2009, but with how much more prevalent they are, daily at this point, I could see them making a change. Because also what I don't know about this is it a Resident Evil 2 style remake? Are they kind of taking liberties, or is this a Last of Us Part 1 style remake where they're just doing the whole thing frame by frame?
I could definitely see them just axing the whole No More Russians level, but also at the same time, I know this sounds awful for me to say, but just we have to accept that shit like that happens in real life too.
Sure, but do we need to play it?
Not necessarily. We don't need to play it. However, it was included for a reason the first time. I don't feel like it was included just because they wanted to just be like, hey, let's be controversial. They included it for a reason for the story.
Sure.
And so part of me is I could see them. I don't give a shit what they do, honestly, because I'm not going to play the game, right? I don't really care.
Sure.
But part of me is yes. If they include it, I understand why they include it. But if they don't include it, I'm also completely understand why they didn't include it.
Yeah.
The question is, will they include it? And that is a question I can't answer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a complicated one. I don't know. I don't know what I think about that, if I would want it included or not. I think I don't want it included, but I'm going to sleep on it. After that, October 28th, same day, actually, Resident Evil Reverse.
Do you mind if I laugh for the next 45 minutes?
You know, I do, only for time's sake, not because I don't think you shouldn't. I just think we don't have the time, unfortunately. But that I can't. Yeah, this is really funny. I still am just so obsessed with how. So for those who might not know, Resident Evil Reverse, this was originally revealed like years ago, and then when it was supposed to come out, because it's like a multiplayer mode. When they were supposed to come out, they were like, "Hey, actually, it's not coming out because it runs like shit, and no one's gonna like it." And then when they revealed some other stuff in the Resident Evil universe recently, and like a 3-second like add-on at the end was also like, this is also coming on this day. And so I think they're trying to kind of just like silently send it to die, which I think is probably for the best. And then also that same day we get some Resident Evil Village story DLC, which I'm excited about. I don't know that it'll be like a day one for me. It'll depend on kind of that month. But honestly, I mean, looking at the rest of October, October is a bit of a light month for me in terms of what I am really excited for. Like, I'm excited for Mario plus Rabbids. I'm excited for Persona 5 Royal on Switch, but that's like, am I going to do it day one? I don't know. And those are the only two that I'm like very excited for. The others are like, I kind of want to wait and see. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you want me to do? Do you want me? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do November. I'm going to do November.
You know what? There's only 4 of them, so I'll let you have it.
Skull and Bones, Ubisoft's pirate game, allegedly.
Did you watch the gameplay reveal for this? Or did you watch any of the gameplay trailer stuff?
I watched a bit and pieces of it. Yeah. And that's why I really want to throw it to you, because I know that you watched all of it, which thank God you did and I didn't have to. This comes out on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC on November 8th.
Yeah.
Patrick, what the fuck is going on with this game?
Look, I've said before on the show, I really don't want to be the guy that's like, this game looks like this is going to be trash and it's a waste of everyone's time. But like, it kind of is. And like, it's a shame because this game was in like development hell for what felt like a decade. It wasn't actually a decade, but I mean, this was basically revealed like back when Black Flag was out, because the pirate gameplay of Assassin's Creed was so popular that they were like, let's make a whole game around it.
And is this game still coming out?
What it is turned into is like a game as a service pirate game that looks like a really uninteresting Sea of Thieves. Yes. Which, John in the chat, Stadia, fuck. I'm so shocked that this game is also coming out on Stadia. But yeah, I don't know. It just
Stadia still exists. Blows my fucking mind.
The gameplay, like you're in your pirate ship, but then you're also like you're going around in third person, like off the water. But then when you're in your ship, it's in first person, and like I don't know, it looks like a total mess, and like, and it just I don't know if there is anyone in our audience that's excited for this and hasn't seen the trailer, I would go watch it because I think you probably won't be anymore.
Here's my thing. It looks like they were like, hey, Sea of Thieves stole our idea, so let's make a division in the water, but we are basing it off of the Division 1 and not really doing much else.
Yeah.
And
excuse me,
this looks
it just doesn't look fun. Like
I don't know what to think about this game outside of I don't want to spend any time on the water.
Yeah. Like, you know when you're watching developers demo a game, and like I think of the Last of Us demo or even the God of War demo from E3 several years ago, where like I watched this person play and I'm like, wow, this game looks awesome. But then I play it and I look like a bumbling idiot playing the game because I've not played this game for 100 hours or 1,000 hours building it. Skull and Bones even looks bad when the developers are playing it. Like, it doesn't look like they know what they're doing in a way. And like, that sounds so disrespectful and I don't mean it to, but like, it's the lead game designer and like another person that works at the studio that like, it's like a QA guy or something. I don't remember what his role was, but I'm like, if it doesn't even look good when you guys are playing it, I don't know. It's not a good feeling.
Moving on, Patrick, to the game that we all want to talk more about. PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, November 9th. God of War Ragnarok. Okay, we talked so much about this already, but like, goddamn, I'm so fucking excited.
Big ol' yeehaw for me.
Big ol' yeehaw. All right. November 18th, Patrick.
Oh, yeah.
Here comes the wild one.
Oh, yeah.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Yipcha!
Okay, look. Boston Mike, who was on the latest episode of STC. Yep. I know he's out there. I know he's listening. I know he's got opinions. You know his opinions? Shove them up his ass. You know why? Because he was like, I don't think this version of Pokemon is the version of Pokemon we should have. Boston Mike, let me tell you.
What does that mean? What does he mean by that?
He means that we should go back to the original style of Pokemon. I disagree.
Oh my goodness.
This is the evolution of Pokemon. This is the
Charmeleon of Pokemon.
Oh, you're telling me. You know what? I'm going to go a step further and say I think Arceus, Charmeleon of Pokemon.
Ooh, this is going to be the Charizard.
This is going to be the Charizard Pokemon. This is the final evolution of Pokemon. We're getting in third person. We're going to do it the fucking right way. I think that this game has potential to be what we see for the next decade and a half of Pokemon. I stand by that.
Yeah, I agree. It looks so good. I can't wait for this game. I'm going Violet all the way. I hope you're doing Scarlet,
baby.
Yeah, good. I couldn't be more excited. I'm so excited. I still don't know who I want to be as my starter. Cayman.
I don't either, but you know what? We don't have to worry too much.
We got time.
Because this isn't coming out until November 18th. What's coming out in December? The only game coming out
so far. The only game with a date so far. The Callisto Protocol, December 2nd. Coming
looks fucking fantastic.
God, I can't wait.
Play it.
I've come to a point, Cayman.
Yeah, tell me.
Where I am like kind of more excited for this game than God of War Ragnarok. Because I love Dead Space so much, and this just looks Dead Space as hell. And I'm so excited for this game that like I'm simultaneously less excited for the Dead Space remake because this is coming first, which I think is I think what they are hoping for by coming out before Dead Space. But yeah, we talked about it a few weeks ago. Can't wait for this game. It's a big old spooky yes from me.
So that's give it a spooky yes too.
You better.
From this boy.
Or I'll give you a third spanking. That's it for the announced games, or not announced games, the announced release dates. I have a short list of other games that are expected this year that don't have actual dates. Coming to Switch, Advanced Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. Does it do anything for you?
Nope.
Not me either.
I'm going to laugh through the rest of these. Okay, you ready?
Well, not the rest of them. There's one about 7 or 8 from now that I know.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna laugh when I think this game sounds silly.
Okay.
Or that the release date's silly. Okay. But I'll give a thumbs up if I think it's good.
Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora from the creators of The Division and The Division 2.
Stop talking, Patrick. Get this game out of here. Move on.
God, I can't wait for this game to just be a hit.
This game's Patrick. This game better burn in hell. We should get a Division 3 tomorrow.
Yeah, DOA. Bayonetta 3 on Switch. I sure hope this comes out because it's on my fantasy.
Never coming out this year.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion. This is the what's it called?
I don't know.
No. What's the PSP one? What's it called?
Oh, this is the
Crisis Core. Crisis Core. Yeah, Recore.
Why would they call it fucking Recore?
Because there's already a game called Recore.
Oh, that's right.
Another Dead on Arrival game.
Moving on.
This one I know you're excited for. Dune Spice Wars.
If I don't see Timothée Chalamet in the nude, get out of here.
Sure. I don't disagree. After that, we got Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. Does this do anything for you? Are you a Ghostbuster guy?
I fucking hope so. It comes out. Yeah, I love Ghostbusters. Give me some more Ghostbuster games.
Yeah, this one looks fun. Goat Simulator 3 came in.
Fuck yes. I love the fact that they skipped 2, went straight to 3. Give me more Goat Simulator.
Yeah. I mean, come on. After that, Hogwarts Legacy. As of today, I am not excited for this game, but they could convince me otherwise. Problematic aside,
I hope this game, just for fans of Harry Potter, that it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John in the chat says these all sound like Game of the Year. I'll tell you what, this next one definitely going to be Game of the Year. This is a PC exclusive called I Am Jesus Christ.
I need a goddamn PC to play this game. Anybody got one? Just let me borrow it.
Let me do a quick share Chrome tab. I Am Jesus Christ.
Please.
This is all we got. This is all we got.
I want a PC just to play this big boy game.
The I in the title, I Am Jesus Christ, is Jesus.
I want this game in my veins.
Giving us a T-pose.
Hopefully it'll take me to heaven because I'm probably going to hell.
So can't wait for that one. After I Am Jesus Christ, Little Devil Inside. This is a game like I
never coming out.
Yeah, I'm not very excited for that one. Return to Monkey Island is one that I am interested in because I've never played the Monkey Island games. And I feel like what'd you say?
Go to hell. Evan Brendo. Go to hell.
One of these days, and it might even be when you're in West Palm Beach, some men in black suits are going to kick down your door and they're going to take you to jail.
He's going to finally kill me.
He's not going to kill you. He's going to put you in jail for all the libel that you spew on this show.
You can take a shot. Okay.
Sonic Frontiers.
This game looks like shit.
Doesn't look very good. Dark Pictures Anthology, The Devil in Me.
Such a weird one. Just
announced
thing.
A few days ago.
What? How
do they do this? How do they make so many games?
I'm blown away. I'm blown away that they can do this shit. But you know what? Good for them.
Yeah. 2 more. Jackbox Party Pack 9. This is one I'm excited for.
2 more. Jackbox Party Pack 9. Okay?
Yeah.
Hear me out.
What I just said.
Nope. That's not what you just said.
What did I say?
You just roboted right through that.
Oh, got it. Okay, cool. One more time.
Jackbox Party Pack 9 will be downloaded on my PS5 absolutely immediately once it gets released.
Yeah.
These games, fucking incredible. Absolutely. If you have any people that come to your house, you should 100% get them all the time. This is coming on PS5, Xbox. You know what it's coming to. Who gives a shit? You just need to fucking get it. The next and the last game, Patrick. Kirby's Dream Buffet. Announced today. Not the day that you're listening to this. The day you're watching this.
The past.
This is a 4-player weird-ass fucking Kirby game that looks fun as shit.
It looks so weird and great. I need more, but it's like Kirby on a bunch of cakes. It looks like Fall Guys meets Kirby meets dessert. To me.
I agree. I love it.
And that's all we have, supposedly, for the year 2022. We'll see if there's anything else announced. And if any of these games we just went over, like I Am Jesus Christ on PC, get a date before the end of the year. Cayman, I need to ask you a question.
Yes.
Did you keep trying to take the reins from me because I was a robot a lot during the show?
Yes.
Tell me, you naughty boy.
Why would I do that when I can just take the reins and keep it going?
Well, because we need to communicate.
Well, if you ask my fiance, I'm terrible at communication.
Well, me and Sid talk about that often.
You probably should.
Often.
Help me go through therapy.
Tell me next time, young man. Okay, that's the end of our show. What are you excited for out there? What are the games that are coming out this year that you can't wait to play? We got Skatebird 2 from John. I don't know that that's a real game. It might be. I know Skatebird 1 happened. Don't know if 2 did. And then, wait, wrong one. There is not a decent Sonic game in the last 10 years. But Paparazzi 2, Bark to the Future. If that's a real game, I'm in. If that's a real game, I'm in. What? Take my checkbook. Buy me a copy. But what are you excited for? let us know right into the show. DM us on Twitter at SpotGamesPod. DM us on Instagram at SpotlightGamesPod. Follow us on Twitch, SpotlightGamesPod. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe so you know when we got new episodes. Subscribe so you know when we go live. Subscribe so I can give you a big old spanking like I gave Cayman a couple spankings this episode. Only a couple. You can follow me on Twitter, Patrick Schweig. You can follow Cayman on Twitter at Kid Cayman. You can give him a spanking if you find him in real life in West Palm Beach right now. Check out Safe Trash Cinema's newest episode live now. Buy now. What else? What else do we need to tell the people at home, Cayman?
Cuisinart has a brand new blender. You should blend your shit up in it.
Shut up. I hate you so much. I'm going to drive 10 hours to West Palm Beach just to give you a real spanking.
Please.
Thank you for coming along on this ride. John gets it. Give him a spanking. Thank you for coming on this ride. We thank you. We love you. I hope you have a great day. Whatever day it is for you. Text me the word stink and I'll give you $5.